What's going on, guys? I hope that you're all having a wonderful day today. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Ty, and today in this video, we're going to be talking about Star Wars, which I feel like I barely get to talk about nowadays, because there's never any Star Wars news. But just last night, we got a juicy new story, that being that the Acolyte Season 2 is officially not happening. That's right, the show has been canceled after just one season that ended only like a month ago, too. So to get this news this early, pretty telling to say the least. But listen, I don't want to act like this is the most surprising news in the world, but I still just want to dive into what went wrong here, whether or not I think this decision is actually a good idea, and just my overall feeling on the show, I guess you could say, as a whole. Because listen, this is the thing, and I guess we could just get into it right here. I actually did not review the Acolyte on my channel. I posted something on my community tab. For those of you that don't already see it, if you go on my channel, then go to the community tab, I'm always posting like updates about my personal life or even just stuff to interact with you. It's just a great way to interact with you guys. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. But I posted something about the Acolyte on there, and I said, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm actually not going to be reviewing the Acolyte. And the reason for that is because I could not finish the show. Usually I could, get through any type of movie or something like that I'm just not really feeling. But the Acolyte was just so absolutely horrible, abysmal, vile, that I just couldn't get through it. On a basic storytelling level, this is one of the worst shows that I've ever seen. And listen, I get that there's some people that like this show, and I'm really happy for you if you like this show. I'm not saying that sarcastically. If you enjoyed this, if you got that Star Wars feeling out of this, and you got your fix of your favorite franchise, I'm actually happy for you. I genuinely mean that. For me personally, I did not care about these characters. I did not care about the story, and I get it. I didn't finish the story, so, I technically can't talk on it. I'd agree with that in most cases, but this was so bad. I made it, I think, something like 5.5 episodes out of the 8 or 9, or maybe 6 out of the 9 episodes. Hey, 69. No, but seriously, like, I don't know how far I made it, but about 2/3. I just couldn't go any further. I did not want to waste 3 more hours of my time. Actually, it wasn't even 3 hours because the runtime was so short. We'll get into that in a second, but listen, the point here is, I did not like this show at all, okay? I thought it was bad, and just to be clear, again, like I'm saying, because I know that things can get pretty toxic when it comes to the Acolyte, it's not because there is a woman lead, or it's not because of this and that. I don't want to get into that. It's just because on a storytelling level, this show was horrible. The dialogue, everything, all the factors that went into this, just so bad. And the problem with this, the thing that really bothers me, is the wasted potential. One thing that bothers me more than anything with films, TV, whatever, is wasted potential. Because I saw there was scraps of a good show in here. There really was. When I first heard the premise of this show, I was like, oh, it's like a murder mystery in Star Wars. That's awesome. That's what I feel like they should be using Disney Plus for too. Like, kind of just these, outlier type of shows, trying to test things like experimental type stuff. But instead, we just got some garbage. And again, I think there was some good in here. I actually really liked the character design of Darth Smiles, whatever his name was, I forgot, but the villain that we had there. I liked kind of like, I believe it was episode 4 or 5, like the lightsaber battles where all the Jedi basically just got genocided. That was sick. I mean, that was really cool. There were some cool moves where Darth Smiles stabs one Jedi through the stomach, then he force pulls the other Jedi onto him like a shish kebab. Crazy stuff. That was awesome to see. But again, at the end of the day, as cool as the action can be, and maybe some CGI, even though some CGI looked really rough, it doesn't matter to me. If the story that you're telling here isn't compelling, and if I don't care about the characters, I just don't care. That's just the reality of it. Of course, like I said, this show was extremely controversial, just in the sense that it was pulling the fan base apart. Some people liked it for the right reasons. Some people liked it for the wrong reasons, honestly. Toxic positivity. No matter what Star Wars puts out, I'm gonna love it. All of you guys are Disney, haters. You guys don't like it because there's like a woman lead, this, that. I'm not getting into that. I'm just saying that was the take for most people. On the opposite end of that, people were disliking it for the right reasons, about how there was no story, it was a bad show generally. But there's also people that were disliking it for the wrong reasons, like how there's a certain lead. I know I've already said it a bunch of times, whatever. It's just the point. People were liking and disliking the show for genuinely good reasons, but people were also liking and disliking the show for bad reasons, and it was just tearing the fandom apart even more, even though the sequels have already basically brought this franchise to its knees. And now here we are, a month after this show has finished airing. I haven't heard a word about it. I feel like, the hype was there, and then That's it. It just disappeared into existence. But I cannot believe it. Lucasfilm and Disney actually went through and said, hey, we're not going to give you guys a season 2 of this show. I'm going to be honest with you, to an extent, I am a little bit surprised, okay? I am slightly surprised. I know everyone's going to say, everyone hated this show. Okay, not everyone hated this show. I'm going to go out on a whim and just say 80% of people didn't like the show. Because keep in mind how many people there are, right, that have Disney Plus. They're not in the film space. They're not in the TV space. They don't really care about, like, you know, reviews and stuff. They probably just watch this because they just have Disney Plus. And they were like, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, whatever. You know, they're not really sitting here, like, judging every single little thing. I get that. So we'll just say 80% of people didn't like this show. But the thing is, Lucasfilm has this mentality, and Disney, where it feels like they're always just trying to die on a hill. No matter what it is, if they do something, this is what we're doing. We're doing it our way, and if you, the fans, don't like it, sorry, that's how it is. The biggest example of this, okay? Again, this also kind of goes back to, for right or for wrong reasons, is gonna be the character of Rey. I personally kind of enjoy Rey. I think she's a okay character. She definitely has her flaws, but also I don't think she's great, okay? Obviously with the sequels, it was super controversial with Rey, okay? You know, the films ended up being bad. People are saying she's like a Mary Sue. People are saying that she shouldn't have been a Palpatine. It was just a big jumbled mess, even though there were also really great qualities about her character, really cool moments with her. It just didn't really pan out, right? And that tore the fan base apart. I've never seen a fan base almost more torn apart in my lifetime. But this is the thing. Lucasfilm and Disney said, no, we're not done here, baby. We are going to die on the hill of Rey. We are going to show you guys that she's a good character. And they said, we're making a Rey movie in like 2027 or something. And apparently it's still coming. Why not just move on from the character? Like, I understand. Some people are like, I don't want a woman lead in Star Wars. That's obviously stupid. That's a dumb reason to not want this. Some people have genuine criticism. Hey, I don't really like her motivations or the fact that they made her a Palpatine. Those are genuine criticisms. Those are understandable, and I can definitely respect those. But the thing is, again, I don't know why Disney would double down and say, we're going to keep going with Rey. Why not just move on to a new story? And tying this into the Acolyte, I'm surprised that they're not just saying, you know what, we're going to die on this hill. We're going to make Acolyte Season 2. You guys are all wrong. This is a good show. It just feels like at some point, like this was just the straw that broke the camel's back. It's over. This show is clearly so bad that even Lucasfilm, a company that has been putting out basically nothing but horrible stuff for the past decade in a sense, They even woke up and said, okay, we need to stop this show, and officially canceled it a month after its release. Do I think it's a good idea? My simple answer is yeah. I mean, there's no saving this show. I mean, this isn't Andor where, you know, it's actually a high quality show that justifies itself having a second season. It's not very good. Again, I didn't finish the show, but I saw that at like the end of season 1, they like teased Yoda. They teased Dark Plagueis. It feels more like one of these things where Leslie Headland, I want to say, who's like the director, was more just trying to get a second season rather than actually tell a good story. It was like, hey, this is my story for, you know, the first 7.5 episodes or 8.5 episodes. Then at the end of it, we're going to leave some plot lines open and we're going to tease some stuff to get the fans excited. So hopefully I can keep my career and my job up. Again, I can't speak to that, of course, but I'm just saying it feels like one of these things where, like, you're trying to bait the studio into getting a second season. Clearly, it didn't work out. Clearly, they don't care, and it sucks because Dark Plagueis, you know, the Wise, it's not like we're going to really be seeing him anytime soon now, clearly. So it just kind of turns into one of these things where it was clearly the right decision. And again, like I mentioned previously, like, towards the start of this video, we just don't get Star Wars news anymore. There is no Star Wars news ever dropping. Even D23 that we just had, it felt like they didn't even really say too much, honestly. They didn't announce anything new. Every movie that we even do get announced ends up getting canceled, like Rogue Squadron that was going to be with Patty Jenkins. That got canceled, this and that. Taika Waititi's film, Kevin Feige's film, Sean Levy's film. Who knows what's even in the works right now? We have no idea. But it just felt nice to get some Star Wars news to be able to talk about it. But yeah, again, it's just pretty obvious what went wrong here. In the writer's room, they were not cooking. It's as simple as that. The dialogue in the show was awful. The storyline was horrible. So many conveniences and horrible character decisions. Now, I'm not talking about in the writing room. I'm just talking about like things that the characters are actually doing in the show that would just bother me. It actually felt like you gave a college film freshman, well, a college freshman that's a film major, $200 million and say, hey, just go do your own thing. That's literally what this feels like. And for them, this would actually be really good, but not for some of the greatest professionals in the industry. Like, Star Wars isn't a joke, right? I mean, at this point in time, it feels like it is, but think about how much money Disney has. They could get any skilled writer that they want to an extent, but I don't understand what they're doing anymore. What are we doing? What are we doing? I get that at a certain point you can't buy talent, but why don't they just try a little bit harder to try to find talent? Does that make sense? Maybe someone a little more unknown that has a really great idea. I just don't know. I don't understand. But yeah, guys, we're not getting season 2 of The Acolyte. I'm pretty sure none of you are sad. And again, I'm not sitting here like, haha, yeah, guys, there's not going to be a season 2 for those of you that liked it. For those of you that did like it, I'm sorry that you guys aren't getting a season 2, but I think even if you did enjoy this show, you can still sort of understand why we're not getting a second season. And it's okay to just move on and just look forward to the future of Star Wars, which quite honestly does feel pretty bleak right now because I don't even know what we have in store for 2025 because we have Skeleton Crew coming in December, and then I think just Mandalorian and Grogu in 2026. I don't know. I might be wrong, but yeah, it just oh no, we have Andor season 2. But yeah, guys, not exactly looking too great right now except for Andor. But yeah, that's gonna just about do it for this video. I mean, what do you guys think? Should this have been canceled? How surprised are you? That's actually something I'm really interested in hearing because don't get me wrong, I get the obvious thing to say is, oh, I'm not surprised at all. But at a certain point, it's like, damn, I'm surprised they actually went through with it, especially a month after the show ended. That's pretty wild to me. But yeah, guys, that's going to just about do it for this video. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.